woke ideology intersects with what I do when the topic of violence is presented. It becomes an issue in terms of misinformation about who commits violence, about why those people commit violence, about how violence is committed, about solutions to violence. Then that misinformation unfortunately becomes public policy, and the net result is more violence and increased death, increased homicides. It's a pretty serious topic. It's a discussion that requires data and requires understanding how violent conflicts occur, how they're actually solved, who's involved. Having the right information on that particular topic is vital, especially if we're going to base public policy on it. Woke ideology often comes in backwards with misinformation. The net result we can see around the country, in my own city in Portland, where homicides have tripled, shootings have tripled. There's going to be a lot more dead bodies because of this misinformation. So it's very important to try and get people to actually go back and look at the evidence and to understand how these things actually work as opposed to how they're being told they work. Let me give you a concrete example. We have a councilwoman here in Portland named Hardesty. Hardesty was the person behind defunding the Portland Police Department and getting rid of what we called the GVRT, which is the Gun Violence Response Team. So the late 80s through early 90s, throughout the United States, we had a spike in violent crime, mostly related to gang and drug-related murders all across the United States and in Portland. They created the Gun Violence Response Team and basically solved the problem. As they solved the problem, you saw a major drop in those kind of homicides. She came in and was vital in getting rid of the GVRT and in defunding the Portland Police Department. If you ask her why she did that, she'll send you a canned response. And then she explains that the Gun Violence Response Team was spending 65% of its time in the black community, which is really only about 18% of the population of Portland, therefore racist. And that's why she had to get rid of it. Since she's gotten rid of it, gang shootings have skyrocketed. There's 3 to 4 times as many shootings as there was before, 3 to 4 times as many dead bodies as they were before. And guess who those victims are? So not only was the Gang Violence Response Team not racist, they actually knew exactly how much time they needed to spend within that community to solve that problem. My question for someone like Hardesty is, when she talks to the mother of a dead little boy here in Portland who was shot, is she going to explain to him that that little boy only deserves 18% of the police department's time because he's black and not 65%, which is really what's going on here? So you can see, when you break it down by the data and you look at the actual evidence, her solution was backwards, but the entire thing started because of a false premise. Because the police department's spending this much time in the black community, police department's racist. No. The police department was spending that much time in the black community because that's where the gangs were. And now that they're gone, the victims are mostly in that community as well. So the people who suffer the most are the ones that the woke, in this particular case, Hardesty, pretend to care about.